One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
They spent, listen to this, $1 million on ads against me in Iowa. They used the best pictures. I look so good in those pictures. I'm trying to find where they got them. But I was like a young guy. I looked so handsome. I said to myself, oh, I wish I still looked like that. And then you have this guy, Lindsey Graham, a total lightweight. Here's a guy in the private sector. He couldn't get a job, believe me. And then I watched this idiot Lindsey Graham on television today, and he calls me a jackass. He's a jackass. Jeb Bush will never take us to the promised land. He doesn't have it.
Did you ever see a sign that says Jeb Bush or Bush? Now, there's a reason he doesn't use his last name, because it's not going to work too well. Because we had a lot of problems with that last name.
There's something I don't understand. I'll probably tweet. I've decided to get out of the race. I wouldn't have a news conference. No, it's true. I tweet. I've decided I'm going to get out of the race. And then I'd sneak out to some place with my wife and I'd just go away.
I thought that was disgusting. That showed such weakness. The way he was taken away by two young women. The microphone, they just took the whole place over. That will never happen with me. I don't know if I'll do the fighting myself or if other people will. But that was a disgrace. The way I felt badly for him.
Let's say that Jeb Bush or Hillary or one of these politicians all talk, no action, all controlled by lobbyists and special interests and donors. The world is cracking up, and they're worried about my tone. I don't have money. I don't have lobbyists. In fact, I've had, in the last 2 weeks, because I've hired many of the lobbyists.
We need a leader that wrote The Art of the Deal.
I said trade deals. Who would do better? I'll tell you what, I know the greatest negotiators in the world. Some are horrible people, horrible human beings. Who cares? You know, Jeb Bush, one of my opponents, I noticed he's not doing very well in the polls. I've actually not. And by the way, they said I won the debate. Is that nice? Is that nice? Right? The polls came out and said I won. And the media, look at all those people back there.
What do you need to spend $1 million? We just spent, it's a story today, $1 million on a soccer field. How do you spend $1 million doing the soccer field? You have a level piece of land. Throw them a ball, let them play soccer, if they have to play at all.
First of all, these lenders aren't babies. These are total killers. These are not the nice, sweet little people that you think, okay? You know, I mean, you're living in a world of the make-believe, Chris. You want to know the truth.
People do not cover us accurately at all. So they have a few protesters outside, and they have thousands of people, and the first question from CNN is about protesters.
Look, they're not turning the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras because you know what? They're very dishonest people. She was the worst Secretary of State in the history of our nation. Why would she be a good president? I think she'd be a terrible president. And then you have this guy, Lindsey Graham, a total lightweight.
The premiums are going through the roof. The deductibles, frankly, you have to get hit with a Komatsu tractor in order to use them. They're so high.
We just spent $1 million building a soccer field, okay? A soccer field for our prisoners that happen to be in...
You want to know the truth. Right now we have Obama. He won't call. He doesn't even call to get our hostages back from Iran. Here we are in the middle of a deal, and he doesn't call about that. One sentence, I'd say, you got to, before we start, get those people back. Used to be 3, now it's 4. Get those people. They'd be back the next hour.
You can win against China if you're smart.
But our people don't have a clue. We give state dinners to the heads of China. I say, why are you doing state dinners for them? They're ripping us left and right. Just take them to McDonald's and go back to the negotiating table. Again, I respect Mexico, but their leaders are too smart for our leaders because we have stupid leaders, okay?
You mean it's not politically correct and yet everybody uses it?
Sometimes we have sermons, and every once in a while we think about leaving a little early, right, even though we're Christian.
Well, I heard Hugh Hewitt, a nice man, he apologized because he actually said that we had a misunderstanding, and he said today that Donald Trump is maybe the best interview there is anywhere that he's ever done. Now, unless he was just saying that on CNN to be nice.
For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say.
Never